Hey everyone, welcome back to Coral Shrimp Australia. So this week's video was requested by one of the members. It's going to be how to set up an emergency tank fairly quickly. So this is just the process that I personally follow. So I usually have a fair few tanks just laying around in my room, and I have a bucket that has 2 filters in it at all times, like 2 sponge filters. And these filters, you can cycle brand new if you needed to, but mine are pretty established and I just keep it going. If you're going to cycle them from the start, I would do a fishless cycle first. Once it's cycled, maintaining it, I'd add some fish in there to maintain it. So I'm assuming you've already have the filter already, but you can obviously watch this video, then go and start your emergency filter to keep it for later use. But what I do is I have a bucket that have 2 filters in it, and each week I add a bit of filter detritus from other filters into the bucket. I do a big water change, and when I need a filter, I just take it out, put it in the new tank, put filter detritus through the tanks that I'm setting up, add some API quick start, give it 3 or 4 days, and the tank's ready to go. I start adding shrimp into it. It's not ideal. It's not something that you want to rush to have a shrimp tank going. But if you absolutely had to, your tank's in disarray, you can't do anything about it, there's no other options, then that's the option that I would go with. And this video is just going to show you the process that I follow. Hopefully it's helpful, and again, it's not the ideal method that I would definitely do, but if in an emergency and you needed a tank going really quickly, this is what I do myself. So this is my emergency filter cycling system. So someone asked me to make a video about what I do about sponge filters. So I keep 2 sponge filters, just the smaller size ones, in a bucket, and these are already pre-cycled, but I always top it up with some excess filter detritus. So every couple of weeks I give the filters a bit of filter detritus to keep it really stable. And I do a water change, 100% water change every 3 days on this bucket. And if I get a problem with one of my shrimp tanks and I need a filter in an emergency, it works really well and the shrimp don't suffer. So what I do is I add about a litre worth of filter detritus from already a very established filter every water change into here, and I let that go for a fair few days, and then I come back and redo it, and it gives me an emergency filter. So if a tank needs moving, I need to set up a tank in a hurry, this works really good. I wouldn't suggest doing this with a brand new filter, putting the fish in. I would cycle it, a fishless cycle, for about 8 weeks. But once you got it going and you want to maintain it, I just put 2 goldfish in there, feed them every day, and it keeps the cycle of the tank going really well. So once I'm ready to put the filter in the tank, that's when I add the API quick start, as you'll see in this next clip. And once the filter goes in the tank, that's already been cycled and it's ready to use. So this might be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks after it's finished cycling, whenever I needed that filter, because the goldfish will keep the filter going until it's needed for the emergency tank. Then I put some filter detritus from a well-cycled sponge filter in the tank itself, just to really boost that tank, make it ready, because all the water would be brand new at that point, and it'd only be the cycled filter. So I put extra nutrient load in there to help it. I then put a goldfish in there for a couple of days, and then that tank's ready to go. And I haven't really had any problems doing this method. It's definitely not super recommended, but if you needed a tank in an emergency, this is exactly what I would do. So in the preceding clips now, I'll just go through that process. So also I add the API quick start. Like, I don't fully believe that this is the best thing ever, but I add it into every tank just after I finish the process of the cycling. So once I need a filter, I grab it from here, I put it in the tank, I add the recommended dose of this. I think it can't hurt. I don't think it makes a crazy amount of difference, but I don't see any negatives adding it off just as the tank's brand new. So that's the only two products I add into the water during the process, and it works really well. And I've never had a problem. So this clip here is just showing 6 new tanks that I had to set up for new selections in a couple of weeks. So I had to move some tanks around and on a new rack, and at this point the filters came out a few emergency buckets that I have, and I've put a goldfish in there in day 1 of after moving the filter. The API quick start's gone in at the recommended dosage, and in the next clip I'm just going to seed the shrimp with some sponge filter detritus, about 500 mils into each tank, and then in the next 2 days I'll be ready to go with adding the shrimp. So here you go, you can see me adding the detritus into each tank. So it's about 500 mils. It's quite thick and dense, and I just pour it in, and then in a couple of days time I start adding the shrimp and it's good to go. So that's just the process I follow. And then here's the 6 tanks all set up ready to go, and it should be good. Well, sometimes I'd like a lot more time to set up a tank. In this particular instance, I had to have 6 tanks ready in quite a hurry for these new selections. A couple of my tanks broke and the shrimp are just in buckets, so I needed to have 6 tanks ready to put the shrimp into in quite a fast fashion. And I thought I'd make a video just to go through my process of why keeping an emergency sponge filter for emergency purposes for a tank is very handy. A lot of people message me going, oh, my tank's crashed, I've had a water problem, I've had an ammonia spike, I've had this, I've had that. And sometimes it's better just to, reset up the whole tank decommission the whole tank, take the stuff out, re-put a new filter, fill it full of water and get it going again, rather than trying to salvage the problem you have. It's really good for when you get chemicals like fly spray or something like that, if you can act really quickly. It's definitely not recommended if you've got lots of time on your hands to set up a tank. I would recommend this at all. This is not a recommendation for that. This is purely if you need to set up a tank fast in an emergency. And it just happened that I had a bit of an emergency. I needed to have 6 tanks running in a real fast hurry due to some tanks breaking. But someone asked me to make a video on this, and hopefully it's really helped. I'll try and make a video every couple of weeks. Just with work, it's been really busy, but hopefully you found this informative. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. It help out a lot, and I'll catch you in the next video.